Hi guys, Dean900Man here from MyGreatIPhone.com, and we thought we'd bring you a full week with the new iPad. So I did manage to get one last Saturday, and I thought I'd tell you my experiences with it, what I thought of it after a whole week, and also some of the other guys from the website that managed to pick up an iPad as well. So stay tuned and we'll give you our complete roundup of the new iPad and let you know whether it's worth buying. So I managed to pick up a 16GB Wi-Fi model of the new iPad, and I actually came from an iPad 1. I skipped the second generation iPad mainly because I didn't see it as a major upgrade. I couldn't see me using the rear facing camera or the front facing camera that much, as FaceTime wasn't really that prevalent and it wasn't being used as much. I decided that when the new iPad came out, that Retina display, I just had to have it, and I did everything, and thanks to my wife I did manage to pick one up. Now I have to say the screen on this thing is absolutely amazing. I do read a lot of websites on it, and I also read a lot of books on it as well, so being able to read that crystal clear text is just absolutely amazing. And also myself and my family, we view a lot of videos on it. My children are always watching HD YouTube videos, and also I put a lot of films on here for them to watch while we're out and about. So the screen is something that just cannot be faulted. There's not another device on the market that can simply compare to this, and that being the main reason to pick up an iPad, the new iPad is well worth it. But there are some issues with it, and one of those things is battery life. Now the battery life on the new iPad is excellent. I probably do get, a good 10 hours worth of use out of it. It gets used all day long by my wife, and like I said, my children use it as well as me in the evenings when I come home from work. However, charging time for this device is absolutely ridiculous. From a full charge, I actually gave it a full charge last night for the purpose of this video, and it does take an awful long time. I mean, it was fully charged, and I probably went to bed probably about 2 o'clock this morning, and I was up around 7 o'clock, and this was only just fully charged. So that's like 5 hours. I think it was at 99%. So it does take an extremely long time to charge, and I know people on the My Great iPhone team are finding problems with that. If it's a device that you're going to be using all day long and you're a heavy user, then you're going to want to keep charging it constantly, and you may find that you're having to plug it in constantly to use it. And that brings on to another problem of the overheating issue, which isn't really overheating technically because it doesn't shut your device down and doesn't give you the overheating warning. But John from the My Great iPhone team, has had a problem with his saying that his wife was actually playing games on it, and it got so hot that she couldn't actually hold it anymore. And I have to say, that is a problem. If you can't hold your iPad because it is just literally that hot, then there is actually a problem, whether it's given off that warning or not. It should be comfortable to hold. And then it makes me think, if you're going to have a case on there as well, it's probably going to save you from being burnt, but that's not going to do the device any good either. So that overheating problem, I hope we see that Apple potentially could fix this. Maybe it's the actual quad-core graphics chip in it that's causing this overheating problem. As John was saying, it's mainly when he's playing games on it that it's getting hot. Another major problem, and this has really racked me off about the new iPad, is smart covers. Now, I'm actually doing a review on a case at the moment that is built for the iPad 2 and also the iPad 3, and because the new iPad has polarity differences than the iPad 2 within the magnets on it, my smart cover doesn't actually do anything. I mean, it keeps the device protected and it keeps my new iPad in lovely condition, but it doesn't turn the screen on or off, and we're actually going to do a video on that. So it makes me wonder, that's not really a new iPad problem. Is this something Apple's done so people have to go out and buy new smart covers? And if they have, I think that's just a cheap shot at the end of the day. So, I mean, we've done some videos on the camera tests, and I have to say the camera on this is outstanding. And I know I said that I probably wouldn't use the camera a lot on this, and I don't to take videos, or I wouldn't take this out and use it as my digital camera. But around the house and the children taking pictures and stuff, and they absolutely love taking pictures, this thing captures some great shots. and it's absolutely excellent, especially that rear facing camera that shoots 1080p. I mean, it's a really, really great camera for what it is, and that 5 megapixel camera does a great job. Regarding FaceTime as well, now I've started using FaceTime quite a lot, talking to my children at home while I'm at work. And I have to say that FaceTime looks great on this, and also the footage that's been sent back to my iPhone 4S looks really well. And that's once again thanks to the new camera on the front, that new FaceTime camera, and that's working out really well. So Apple overall did a good job. But it makes me think, if you have an iPad 2, is this device worth getting? And I'd probably say, unfortunately, no. To spend another £400 on a device when your iPad 2 works just as well, if you're not worried about taking pictures that much, which most people probably aren't. This is a massive device to be carrying around to snap pictures on, and you know, the screen, if you're not really worried about it, I mean, the screen on the iPad 2, there is nothing wrong with it at the end of the day. This is crisper, but it's not now like you cannot read on the iPad 2 screen. So splashing out another £400, unless you're a massive Apple fanboy or you're a geek like me, then there's probably not if you're coming from an iPad 2. Coming out from an iPad 1 like I have though, it's well worth it. This thing is super speedy compared to the iPad 1, and I'm sure if you're a massive YouTube lover that you've watched the videos and the comparisons, and this thing like beats the iPad 1 hands down. I mean, there is just masses worth of difference. This thing is absolutely crazy speeds over Wi-Fi, and certainly over the 4G LTE speeds that they're getting over in the US. So if you're coming from an iPad 1, then, you know, if you can, splash out that £400 and just pick up a 16 gig Wi-Fi model like I did. It is well worth it. Sound quality on this sounds much better from the iPad 1. Charlie, also, who's come from an iPad 2, he said that the sound quality is much better as well, and he's also saying that the microphone pickup is a lot better as well. So overall, coming from an iPad 2, unless you really need this new iPad or the iPad 3, then it's probably not worth it. And that disappoints me a little bit to say. That Retina display is absolutely excellent, but if that's all that you're buying for, I'd probably save your £400 and wait to see what happens in the world of Apple iPads next year. Coming from an iPad 1 or from no iPad, then definitely get that cash together and make sure you go and pick one of these up. This is an awesome device and I am loving it. So this has been our week with the new iPad. Excellent device, and I would recommend it to anybody unless you've got an iPad 2. So thanks very much for watching. We will catch you real soon, and stay tuned for the next one.